Hey guys, sorry for how ridiculous I look at the moment. I literally just woke up. I'm still in bed. But I wanted to update because the last 24 hours have kind of sucked majorly. So I wanted to document that and let you guys know why it has sucked just so badly. Um, Yesterday, I don't know, I kind of had a little bit of a mini breakdown. I spent most of the day crying. There's a couple reasons for that. One, I was almost out of pain meds. I'd been unlucky enough to be discharged from the hospital without any pain meds except for ibuprofen 600 milligram, which isn't even full strength. I had been on oxycodone in the hospital, and for some weird reason, they didn't prescribe it for me when I left. But because I had some at home, I didn't think that was a big deal. So I basically said, "Oh, I'll just take the one I have at home until you guys prescribe me some." And they were like, "Yeah, do that." So I had been taking my oxycodone here at home, and then I ran out because I didn't have a huge amount left. It was from my wisdom teeth removal a few months ago. And so when I ran out, I kind of called them and said, "Hey, can you prescribe me some more?" And they were like, "We can't do that over the phone. So you're going to have to come in and do it." And I was like, "Okay, well, I will do that." And in the meantime, I started retaking the hydrocodone because I was in so much pain. I needed something. And even though it made me hallucinate, I cut back on the dosage just so I could take the edge off the pain. And that actually seemed to work. So I didn't really think it was all that important for me to go back in and get the oxy since I had so much hydro left. And I figured, you know what, this will be fine. I'll just take this altered, smaller dose, and hopefully by the time it runs out, I'll be all better. Well, that was probably really stupid. My hair, sorry, there's barrettes in and it looks a bit weird. Um, so basically, forgive me. Basically, it got to a point where my pain started getting worse. I've been having this really weird pain. This is my right side, and I've been having this pain right up here. And I don't know what it is, but if you touch it and if you kind of feel around, there's a weird lump under there. And this is way up high. This is where my shoulder and my clavicle meet. And it's right here. It's extremely painful. And I had this right after the original surgery, and I told the doctors about it, and they just brushed it off. But it's still there, and it's actually getting worse. And the fact that I can feel weird lumps, and it's not on this side. There's no pain and no lumps on this side. So I don't know what it is, but no one's really taking me seriously about it. And fair enough, maybe it's just part of the healing process, so I'm not giving it too much thought, but it hurts really badly. But anyway, I started yesterday. I got low on the hydrocodone. And I started panicking a little bit because without any pain meds, I'm in a lot of pain. And yesterday, the biggest problem is that I went to change my bandages because I think I've mentioned I was leaking a little bit from where the drain was on the right-hand side. And that is still the case. I'm still leaking liquid, yellowy, yucky liquid. But yesterday when I went to change my bandages in the morning, I found that I'm bleeding now from where this drain was. Not a huge amount, a little bit. Some yellow pus and a little bit of blood coming out. But also under this breast, right in the middle here, not in the middle of the breast, but in the middle of my chest, right on the end of where the incision is, it broke open. It's incredibly painful, and it was bleeding, like properly bleeding. And my husband and I tried to clean it up. We used a wet washcloth, and we cleaned the areas really well, and it was just pouring out crud. So I'm actually like bleeding and pussing from 3 different wounds now. And so I was getting really upset, and it's really, really painful. And I put bandages on. I've got my surgical bra on. I'm not even wearing my own bras anymore. I went back to the surgical bras. I've been wearing them for a few days now to just keep everything as tight as possible and as compressed as possible. And I called the doctor again to try and figure out what I'm supposed to do because this isn't right. And I got the same doctor who was the one who told me when I was clearly infected. He was the one that told me my thermometer was broken. And I hate this guy. Like, he's so unhelpful. So I called him, and he was the one on call, and he said, just put gauze on it and deal with it. And I basically said, well, it seems a little weird. I've got this hole that's like opened and it's bleeding pretty badly. What, And he's like, well, you just have to put gauze on it. Just put gauze on it, hold it there and until it stops and just deal with it. And I said, okay, that sounds crap, but whatever. Listen, it's very, very painful and everything is still really, really, really painful. Can you please prescribe me some Oxy? It's the only thing that works. It's the only thing that helps. You guys never prescribe me anything. I don't have anything for pain except for ibuprofen, and I'm in a lot of pain here. And again, he basically said, deal with it. He said, I can't do it. I'm busy. I'm at another hospital. You're just going to have to deal with it. And so when I got off the phone, I was crying. I was so upset because it was just so unhelpful, and I just couldn't understand why anybody would treat me that way. And it's not like I'm asking for the world. I'm asking for pain medicine. I've been cut open. I've been, I look like it's crazy. I'm in so much pain. I'm not a person who ever takes pain meds. If you knew me, you would know that. And the fact that I've had to go through so many, I have several bottles of pills here that they've prescribed me, but I can't take them for whatever reason. Tramadol makes me throw up, the hydrocodone makes me itch all over, and makes me have hallucinations, and I'm still taking that because I'm so desperate, because I'm in so much pain. But anyway, after that, I cried for about an hour. I was so upset, and I feel so powerless to fix anything. I just feel like I'm breaking, and it's just getting worse, and it's yesterday was 2 weeks since the second surgery, and I feel like I'm just getting worse every day, and how can this be, and why is this happening to me? It shouldn't be. And then another wonderful surprise, I started feeling really unwell. I started feeling all over body aches, and I knew right away that I was getting a fever. And so I went to get my thermometer, and it was lost. And my husband looked for it, and he couldn't find it, and I thought the kids might have stolen it, and we couldn't find it anywhere, so he was about to head out the door to go buy a new one just to check my temperature. He didn't think I had a fever. He thought I was overreacting, but I knew I did, and so we finally moved the couch, and we found that the thermometer was under there, and so I took my temperature, and sure enough, it was 100.2, which isn't a huge high fever. It's a low-grade fever, but it just made my heart drop, because obviously that's how it started when I got the infection, is I got a low-grade fever, and then it just went higher and higher. And so I started panicking and crying some more, because I was just like, I don't want to go back to the hospital, I don't want to have more surgery, I don't want to have all these problems, and it was a really, really, really rough time. So I took more ibuprofen, and that brought the fever down to 99.9, and then it went back up again, and it was kind of going back and forth between, high 99s to low hundreds. It never got above 100.3, which I was very grateful for. And after the evening rolled around, it went away. And so I kind of took a deep breath then, and I was very happy, because the last thing I needed was to get sick and to end up back in the hospital or having more surgery. That is my worst fear right now. But the fact that I got the fever, and the fact that have all these wounds that are open, and I don't know what to do, they're not really helping me. I asked them at my follow-up, do I put, antibacterial stuff on it? Do I put, antibiotic ointment on it? Should I be doing anything? And they were just like, nope, just wear the bra. And so now all these things are breaking open. The doctor tells me put gauze on it and keep it tight. And so that's what I'm doing. And then last night, I was laying in bed, and I'm out of meds completely. I still have my ibuprofen, so that's all I'm taking now, and it barely does anything, but it's better than nothing. So last night I was laying in bed, and started getting pain kind of on my breast, and so I kind of was touching it and just kind of seeing where the pain was, just kind of ascertaining, what was going on. And as I pushed on it, my boob, it made this weird farting noise, this squelchy noise, and I was like, what the heck? So I pushed again, and again it made this really weird, it sounded like my boob was farting, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but it kept doing it. So I kept pushing it. It was like a musical instrument. Every time I pushed, it would make this weird noise, and it was clearly there's some air and, liquid in there. And so I pushed again, and all of a sudden I felt this big whoosh of liquid come out of this wound. And I was like, oh, that can't be good. But I was too scared. Like, my husband had just gone to bed. It was like after midnight by this point, and I was kind of freaking out. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do. And if I go check it out and it's really horrible, then I'm going to have to deal with it by myself, and I don't want to do that. And it kind of stopped hurting after that happened. Like, the pain went away, and I could feel all this wetness inside my bra. And honest to God, I just didn't want to face it. And so I ignored it, and I went to sleep. And so this morning, I woke up and I told my husband what had happened, and he was like, oh my God, why didn't you get up? Why didn't you deal with it? And I was like, I was too scared. It was really gross, and I was scared it was going to be covered in blood, and I didn't want to do it by myself, and you were asleep. And he was like, you wake me up. It's okay. So I've kind of had a very quick look inside my bra now that it's daylight, and I'm about to go take a shower because looking inside, I can see that it was more of the yellow liquid that came out. And unfortunately, the pads that are in there to catch all the drainage that I keep putting in, they're stuck to my skin. Whatever the stuff was that came out, it dried, and now it's all stuck. And so I'm going to have to go be very careful, get in the shower, take my bra off, and then gently pull these pads off because they're stuck to my skin. And I've got 3 pads. I've got one on this side because that's where the blood was coming on this breast. I've got one in the middle here where the open wound is, and then one on the side where the other drain was. And I have to get all these off of my skin. So I'm going to do it in the shower, so it should be less painful. And I suspect there's going to be some more leakage and more crap coming out. So I'm just going to shower or clean the areas really, really well. I'm going to put on my other surgical bra and hope for the best. And again, I have no pain meds, so I'm doing this all on my own. And right now, I'm back to regretting this surgery. I'm pissed. I'm angry at the way I've been treated by the doctors. I think that they've done something wrong. That's my opinion, is that something is wrong. I know from looking it up that other people who have had the surgery, their wounds have opened underneath and stuff. And when I read about it, they said that it's usually a stitch that's aggravating the area, and the doctor always makes them come in and they remove that stitch, and then it clears up really quickly. My doctors are not even suggesting that it could be stitches. They are literally just fobbing me off. They are basically telling me nothing is wrong and I'm just a big baby and deal with it. And the way I'm being treated is terrible. I'm so angry, and I'm so just furious with them. I don't understand how you can treat people like this, especially given that I had the complications afterward. You would think that they would be keeping on top of that, but they just don't seem to care in the slightest. And for that, if it comes to it, I will never ever recommend this hospital to anyone. For those who don't know, it's the University of Utah Hospital. And I'm floored by how badly I've been treated. And, people have been telling me, oh, you should talk to a lawyer. And it's like, well, I'm not going to talk to a lawyer at this point, until I know what's up, because for all I know, this is normal. But because they're not talking to me and they're not giving me any help, they're not actually helping to allay my fears. They are literally just telling me to deal with it. I don't know. Maybe this is how it goes. And if they would tell me that, if they would explain to me that this is normal, I would feel a lot better. But they're not. They're basically just telling me nothing. So yeah, I'm furious and I'm angry. And once I'm healed, I think I'll be able to think a lot more clearly and kind of figure out if there was any fault here, if something's been done wrong, or if it's just me. My body has always been known to be a bit weird. I do get infections easily. For some reason, my immune system does not like me at all. I catch illnesses really quickly. And when I get an infection, when I was pregnant for my second son, I got bad infection. And I got put on antibiotics that were not safe for pregnant women, but that were the only thing that would fix it. And I had to go 3 rounds with it because it just didn't clear up. So I am known for getting infections that last and that don't respond well. So you know, it could just be my body and I'm weird. And that's what I'm leaning toward at this point. But I still wish that the doctors would talk to me and take me seriously and that they would help me through this, because this shouldn't be happening and they really shouldn't be treating me this badly. But I don't know. I'm just dealing with it at this point. And I just wanted to update because if this is normal and someone knows it's normal, maybe you can leave a comment and let me know that this is normal, that wounds open and that magically they heal themselves within a day and I don't have anything to worry about, and that just keep on it. Give me some happy, positive compromise. Give me some feedback telling me I'm not crazy. I'm at my wit's end now. And again, I wish I'd never done this. I really do. I think it's going to take so long to heal, and maybe in a year or 2 years or 10 years, I'll think it was worth it. But right now, there's nothing about this that I am enjoying. I don't even care that my boobs are smaller because they're in so much pain and they're so swollen and they're leaking and they're hurt and they're making fart noises, and it's just, this sucks. It sucks. So I will leave you with that. I'll update again when there's something to update about, but for now, I'm just gonna leave it. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.